bütün sessions ketdi.
Bir daha mı?
Results of the last 5 years of economic reforms, human capital accumulation, support of small business and private entrepreneurship, creating food security and decent jobs through agricultural development, transition to a growth model that benefits all segments of the population equally, development of green economy. It's all about one goal: economic growth, improving people's life, and poverty reduction. These and other measures taken by the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, on the basis of the principle of human dignity and reforms aimed at economic growth, improving people's lives and reducing poverty, are now serving the well-being of the people in every mahalla on the current topic discussed at the Uzbekistan Economic Forum, together with experts from around the world and the region. You and we will discuss these and number of other issues at the Uzbekistan International Poverty Reduction Forum, May 26-27, 2022, Bukhara. Results of the last 5 years of economic reforms, human capital accumulation, support of small business and private entrepreneurship, creating food security and decent jobs through agricultural development, transition to a growth model that benefits all segments of the population equally, development of green economy. It's all about one goal: economic growth, improving people's life, and poverty reduction. These and other measures taken by the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, on the basis of the principle of for human dignity and reforms aimed at economic growth, improving people's lives, and reducing poverty, are now serving the well-being of the people in every mahalla. On the current topic discussed at the Uzbekistan Economic Forum, together with experts from around the world and the region, you and we will discuss these and number of other issues at the Uzbekistan International Poverty Reduction Forum, May 26-27, 2022, Bukhara. Results of the last 5 years of economic reforms, human capital accumulation, support of small business and private entrepreneurship, creating food security and decent jobs through agricultural development, transition to a growth model that benefits all segments of the population equally, development of green economy. It's all about one goal: economic growth, improving people's life, and poverty reduction. These and other measures taken by the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, on the basis of the principle of for human dignity and reforms aimed at economic growth, improving people's lives, and reducing poverty, are now serving the well-being of the people in every mahalla. On the current topic discussed at the Uzbekistan Economic Forum, together with experts from around the world and the region, you and we will discuss these and number of other issues at the Uzbekistan International Poverty Reduction Forum, May 26-27, 2022, Bukhara. Results of the last 5 years of economic reforms, human capital accumulation, support of small business and private entrepreneurship, creating food security and decent jobs through agricultural development, transition to a growth model that benefits all segments of the population equally, development of green economy. It's all about one goal: economic growth, improving people's life, and poverty reduction. These and other measures taken by the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, on the basis of the principle of for human dignity and reforms aimed at economic growth, improving people's lives, and reducing poverty, are now serving the well-being of the people in every mahalla. On the current topic discussed at the Uzbekistan Economic Forum, together with experts from around the world and the region, you and we will discuss these and number of other issues at the Uzbekistan International Poverty Reduction Forum, May 26-27, 2022, Bukhara. Results of the last 5 years of economic reforms, human capital accumulation, support of small business and private entrepreneurship, creating food security and decent jobs through agricultural development, transition to a growth model that benefits all segments of the population equally, development of green economy. It's all about one goal: economic growth, improving people's life, and poverty reduction. These and other measures taken by the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, on the basis of the principle of for human dignity and reforms aimed at economic growth, improving people's lives and reducing poverty, are now serving the well-being of the people in every mahalla. On the current topic discussed at the Uzbekistan Economic Forum, together with experts from around the world and the region, you and we will discuss these and number of other issues at the Uzbekistan International Poverty Reduction Forum, May 26-27, 2022, Bukhara. Results of the last 5 years of economic reforms, human capital accumulation, support of small business and private entrepreneurship, creating food security and decent jobs through agricultural development, transition to a growth model that benefits all segments of the population equally, development of green economy. It's all about one goal: economic growth, improving people's life, and poverty reduction. These and other measures taken by the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, on the basis of the principle of for human dignity and reforms aimed at economic growth, improving people's lives and reducing poverty, are now serving the well-being of the people in every mahalla. On the current topic discussed at the Uzbekistan Economic Forum, together with experts from around the world and the region, you and we will discuss these and number of other issues at the Uzbekistan International Poverty Reduction Forum, May 26-27, 2022, Bukhara. Results of the last 5 years of economic reforms, human capital accumulation, support of small business and private entrepreneurship, creating food security and decent jobs through agricultural development, transition to a growth model that benefits all segments of the population equally, development of green economy. It's all about one goal: economic growth, improving people's life, and iqtisodiy rivojlanishning oxirgi 5 yillik natijalari va erishilgan yutuqlar. Inson kapitalini oshirish, kichik biznes va xususiy tadbirkorlikni qo'llab-quvvatlash, qishloq xo'jaligini rivojlantirish orqali oziq-ovqat xavfsizligi va barqaror ish o'rinlarini yaratish, aholining barcha qatlamlariga bir xil manfaat keltiradigan o'sish modeliga o'tish, yashil iqtisodiyotni rivojlantirish. O'zbekiston Respublikasi Prezidenti Shavkat Mirziyoyev tomonidan inson qadri uchun tamoyili asosida olib borilayotgan bu va boshqa bir qator harakatlar, iqtisodiy o'sish, insonlar hayotini yaxshilash va kambag'allikni qisqartirishga qaratilgan islohotlar har bir mahalla, har bir xonadonga kirib, bugun xalq farovonligi uchun xizmat qilyapti. O'zbekiston iqtisodiy forumida dunyo va mintaqa ekspertlari bilan birgalikda muhokama qilingan dolzarb mavzuda yana bir bor siz va biz O'zbekiston kambag'allikni qisqartirish xalqaro forumida shu va boshqa bir qator masalalarni muhokama qilamiz. 2022-yil 26-27 may, Buxoro shahri. Results of the last 5 years of economic reforms, human capital accumulation, support of small business and private entrepreneurship, creating food security and decent jobs through agricultural development, transition to a growth model that benefits all segments of the population equally, development of green economy. It's all about one goal.
Hurmatli xonimlar va janoblar, forumning yopilish sessiyasini boshlashga tayyormiz. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to start the closing session of our forum. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are starting the closing session of our forum. Hurmatli xonimlar va janoblar, forumimizning yopilish sessiyasini boshlayapmiz. Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli xonimlar va janoblar. Yana bir bor O'zbekistonda kambag'allikni qisqartirish xalqaro forumida sizni ko'rganingizdan xursandmiz. Ijozatingiz bilan forumimizning yopilish marosimini boshlaymiz. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, we are glad to see you at the Uzbekistan International Poverty Reduction Forum. With your permission, we will begin the closing session of our forum. So'zni O'zbekiston Respublikasi Bosh vaziri o'rinbosari, Oila va xotin-qizlar davlat qo'mitasi raisi Zulayho Mahkamovaga. The floor belongs to Zulayho Mahkamova, Deputy Prime Minister, Chairman of the State Committee of Women and Family of the Republic of Uzbekistan.
Assalomu alaykum, hurmatli xalqaro forum ishtirokchilari. Bugun mana 2 kun davomida qadimiy Buxoro shahrida o'tkazilayotgan kambag'allikni qisqartirishga maqsad qilib olingan juda ham katta xalqaro forumda ishtirok etdik va bu forum jarayonidagi juda ham ko'plab xalqaro tashkilotlar bilan hamkorlik qilish bo'yicha o'z oldimizga katta vazifalarni belgiladik va biz o'zimiz uchun bu O'zbekistonda kambag'allikni qisqartirish strategiyasiga eng samarali xalqaro tajribani joriy qilish, yashil va barqaror rivojlanish, hududlarni rivojlantirish, inson kapitalini rivojlantirish, axborot texnologiyalarini qo'llagan holda kasb-hunarga o'rgatish, qishloq ayollarining iqtisodiy imkoniyatlarini kengaytirish va boshqa qator yo'nalishlar bo'yicha xalqaro moliya tashkilotlari bilan xalqaro moliya institutlari vakillari bilan bir qatorda davlat idoralarining mutaxassislari, ekspertlari bilan birgalikda davra suhbatlari, muzokaralarda ishtirok etdik va tanlangan ma'ruzalarning aksariyati muhtoj oilalarni kambag'allikdan chiqarishga, xotin-qizlarning iqtisodiy imkoniyatlarini kengaytirishga qaratilganligini ko'rdik. Mamlakatda yashil iqtisodiyotni barpo etish va rivojlantirishda xotin-qizlarning tashabbuslarini mamlakatni barqaror rivojlantirishda o'z hissasini qo'shib kelayotganligini ham e'tirof etildi. Mazkur xalqaro forumdan kelib chiqib, yangi O'zbekistonning yashil iqtisodiyotga o'tish jarayonlariga xotin-qizlarning ishtirokini ta'minlash bo'yicha quyidagi yo'nalishlarni va quyidagi chora-tadbirlarni belgilab oldik. Birinchidan, yashil iqtisodiyotni barpo etishda xotin-qizlarni faol jalb etish bo'yicha maxsus dastur ishlab chiqish va amalga oshirish. Ikkinchidan, ekologik yo'naltirilgan xotin-qizlar tadbirkorligini rivojlantirish, qishloq ayollarini o'zini o'zi band qilish yo'nalishiga ko'maklashish. Uchinchidan, yashil texnologiyalarni rivojlantirish, qo'llab-quvvatlash uchun tadbirkorlik subyektlariga, ayniqsa ayollar daftaridagi oilalarni moddiy qo'llab-quvvatlash, xususan subsidiya, grantlar ajratish, yashil kreditlash, venture moliyalashtirish tizimlarini joriy etishni. To'rtinchidan, aqlli shahar, aqlli qishloq xo'jaligi tamoyillari bo'yicha ayollar ishtirokidagi kichik biznes ishtirokchilarini ko'paytirish. Beshinchidan, yashil texnologiyalarni rivojlantirish sohasidagi ilmiy tadqiqot jarayonlariga xotin-qizlarni keng jalb etish hamda ularning faolligini ta'minlash. Shuningdek, kasbiy ko'nikmalarga yashil iqtisodiyotning rivojlanishi bilan qo'yiladigan yangi talablarni hisobga olgan holda xotin-qizlarni davlat mablag'lari tomonidan o'qitishni tashkil etish. Oila va xotin-qizlar davlat qo'mitasi tomonidan kuni kecha Jahon banki bilan hamkorlikda O'zbekistonda qishloq ayollarining iqtisodiy imkoniyatlarini kengaytirish loyihasini amalga oshirish bo'yicha aniq vazifalarni belgiladik va ish boshlash uchun hamma imkoniyatlarni tayyorlandi. Bu loyihaning asosiy maqsadi chekka qishloqlardagi ayollar daftariga kiritilgan ayollarni kasb-hunarga o'qitish, ularning iqtisodiy imkoniyatlarini kengaytirishga qaratilgan. Yaponiya ijtimoiy rivojlanish fondining 2.7 million AQSh dollar miqdorida grant mablag'lari hisobiga Farg'ona viloyatining Furqat, Yozyovon, Qo'shtepa, So'x, Jizzax viloyatining Yangiobod, Baxmal, Forish, Zomin tumanlaridagi mahallalarda amalga oshiriladigan ishlarni tejallashtirmoqda. Loyihaning amalga joriy etish jarayonida 3,5 mingdan ziyod ayollarni kasb-hunarga o'qitiladi. Ularning moliyaviy savodxonlik, tadbirkorlik ko'nikmalari va bilimlariga ega bo'lishi ta'minlanadi. 350 ta biznes loyihalari uchun 1,5 million AQSh dollari ajratish orqali qishloq hududidagi ayollar tadbirkorligi faoliyatiga jalb qilinadi va grant doirasida moliyalashtirilmagan biznes loyihalar belgilangan tartibda tijorat banklari orqali moliyalashtirishi belgilandi. Ijtimoiy himoyaga muhtoj xotin-qizlar bilan ishlashda davlat organlari, jamoat tashkilotlari, tadbirkorlik subyektlari, fuqarolar yig'inlari o'rtasida ijtimoiy hamkorlik yanada mustahkamlanadi. Ayollar daftariga kiritilgan xotin-qizlarni mahallabay tadbirkorlikka jalb etish uchun hamma qo'shimcha imkoniyatlarni yaratiladi. Shu bilan birga loyiha doirasidagi ayollar daftariga kiritilgan ijtimoiy himoyaga muhtoj xotin-qizlarga nisbatan eng ko'p bo'lgan 56 ta mahallada xuddi shunday ishlar olib boriladi. Xotin-qizlarni qo'llab-quvvatlash yo'nalishida faoliyat yuritayotgan nodavlat tashkilotlari tanlanadi va ular tomonidan mahalladagi xotin-qizlarni ijtimoiy safarbarlik bo'yicha ayollar bilan ishlash, zamonaviy axborot kommunikatsiya texnologiyalaridan foydalanish sohasida o'qitiladi. Qishloq hududidagi ayollarni tadbirkorlikka jalb etish jarayoni doimiy monitoringi amalga oshiriladi. O'ylaymizki, shu 2 kun davomida xalqaro forum doirasida tinglangan ma'ruzalar, o'tkazilgan davra suhbatlar, mahorat darslari asosida ishlab chiqiladigan takliflar, tavsiyanomalar, tayyorlanadigan normativ hujjatlar mamlakatimizda kambag'allik darajasini qisqartirishga, oilalar daromadini oshirishiga, xotin-qizlarning iqtisodiy imkoniyatlarini yanada kengaytirishga xizmat qiladi. E'tiboringiz uchun rahmat.
Now the floor belongs to Rolia Astana, UN Resident Coordinator in Uzbekistan.
Thank you. And assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting me back into the last session after having been here in the first. I'll be very quick. As you know, and many of you know, I'm an economist. Sometimes I feel I should apologize for that, but I am. And it means I'm supremely comfortable in the world of numbers and models and graphs and strategies and discussions like this one. But this morning, I spent this morning with women and children who are survivors of gender-based violence in a shelter, doing very good work here in Bukhara. And it reminded me, as it does periodically, these kind of visits, why I'm doing the work I'm doing and not some other kind of work that I could have done. I was lucky enough to meet the president in my first week here in Uzbekistan, and he said to me, get out of Tashkent and go out and meet real people in the country. And I'm trying to do that. And so my parting thoughts very quickly are 5 Ps, just from everything that I've heard, all the wisdom that we've heard in all of the sessions in this great conference that has been convened by the Ministry of Economic Development and Poverty Reduction. I think the first P for me is patient whatever we do. I know you want to do something on Monday, Deputy Prime Minister, before lunch, if possible. This is a complex problem, complicated, and you know this better than me. So I think whatever strategy we have, and we support you on, it's going to have to be patient. It'll have to be prioritized because we can't put the same amount of energy and same amount of resources and same amount of bandwidth behind all the important things that we have to do. And in every session I saw, people gave you a long list of things they think it is important to focus on. So patient, prioritized, proactive. I think we have to be out there analyzing, understanding what's coming up, and then proactively doing something about it rather than waiting for problems to come to us. The fourth P is problem solving. I think this is what a lot of this does is give us the best sort of analysis. For example, colleagues at CERR, etc., are doing exactly that, is analyzing the problem and then telling us what we should do about it, but we need to have a problem-solving approach. But the last P, I think, is the most important, and I was reminded of it again as I was sitting with the women and children this morning. Whatever we do has to be people-centered, because behind all the strategies and speeches and graphs, there are real people with real problems and real stories. Anything that we do at the end of the day has to have an impact in their lives at the micro level. So those are my closing thoughts. Thank you again to you and to the ministry for what's been an absolutely amazing experience. Thank you.
Now the floor belongs to UNDP, a resident representative in Uzbekistan, Matilda Dimovska.
Rahmat, Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Deputy Prime Minister, colleagues. I will be rather brief. Only 3 points from my side. First of all, of course, congratulations. It was a very, very rich discussion, very timely discussion. My first point that I take from the event, the mere fact that it's happening at this moment of the time, that it indicates for me the readiness of Uzbekistan to move from the phase of readiness to reduce the poverty that we saw in 2020 early, to a phase of readiness to maximize the impact of its efforts for the people. So that to maximize the impact of the reforms and the poverty reduction effort to all people of Uzbekistan. And that's an extremely important point that was coming throughout. Now, we've heard many points, including the 3 key drivers that for the growth and the poverty reduction effort that the government sees. But what resonated also very much across all points was that that the poverty reduction is a team sport. I think it was Sabine saying it at the very beginning, and that came from the understanding that the poverty is not a single side aspect, dimension, it's a multidimensional phenomenon. And it has to be looked that way, in an integrated, can be addressed only in an integrated manner, in a system manner. And that applies to all teams, whether it comes to the social protection, job creation, labor market policies, all of those needs to be synchronized and looked into the future. So that's one important point. And the second point that came very strong was for such a policy approach, one needs to have really a razor sharp look into the poverty. And for that, a new tools, matrices, state-of-art tools and matrices are needed to go beyond the only monetary, but to look to the non-monetary aspects of the poverty. To be used not only as a measurement, but also as a tool for the policymaker and to monitor the implementation. Yes, there is no silver bullet to ending the poverty. Therefore, it has to be tailored to the context, and we need a measurement instrument. So I appreciate it very much, the inclusivity, the approach to the inclusiveness and to gender aspects as well. That was really great to see that deliberate effort indicative of the policies. Let me stop here. But yes, we are very pleased to have been part of this and ready to continue accompanying Uzbekistan, and particularly on this from the point of maximizing the result of the poverty reduction effort for everyone. Thank you, Rahmat.
And now the floor belongs to Tatiana Proskorykova, Regional Director for Central Asia at World Bank.
Thank you very much. So we're all very tired. So for me, 2 points. The first one, just to recognize the moment and to celebrate the moment, because I think this event has been a tremendous success. Look around you. You were able to bring together not just different parts of the government, different parts of society in Uzbekistan, but a really broad range of international actors. And we're all here to support you. The honesty of discussions, the depth of discussions has been tremendous. And I think we need to just say thank you very much and recognize that this is a fantastic step in the right direction, and we're all here to support you. The second point is, let's look into the future. It's lovely to talk, let's do something. And I really would like to build on many of these topics that we opened in these 2 days, from macroeconomic stability to social protection and everything in between. And I certainly commit to the World Bank Group, and I know that all international organizations are standing behind us, with us, to support you on this very, very important journey that we have traced in these 2 days. Now, I said there were 2 points, that perhaps I will have point 2, point B. And that is, for this to be a success, we really look to the government to coordinate us. Because we see how many of us there are, how eager we are. Everybody was participating in every session. I participate in all the sessions and many sessions. We need to create a structure that would allow you to use us to the best capacity. So I'm looking to you to coordinate us and to tell us how best we can support you. But congratulations, and looking forward to working together.
Thank you. Thank you. We will help you. This is a good idea. I will very soon you will see that. We, in the coming future, we will use more and more overall with not separate society, all banks dealing with on certain issues we will have with coordinated meeting and within that issues which have our interest, and we have to wear the coordinate which is very good point.
Now the floor belongs to Charlotte Adrian, European Union Ambassador to Uzbekistan.
Thank you very much. The more we move forward, the more difficult it becomes, because in fact, many of the good things have been said. But with this being said, I maybe like to start with the bad news. I have one bad news, which is that we've seen it for the last day and a half. Poverty is a very complex issue. And it's in fact complex, and it's also in a complex situation. So this is, of course, this is a problem. And being a problem, we have seen that there are lots of opportunities for solutions, or solutions are coming, but we've also seen there's no one size fits all. So this, and we also heard now that this is not something that is going to happen overnight. But with this being said, I think there's also the good news. So I have 5 points. So the first one was a bad one, but I have 4 good points. The 4 good points are that there are opportunities In fact, one of them we also touched upon, we discussed the green, which is in fact it is a bad news, but it can also be turned into a good news. And in fact, this is about building back, not only building back better, but building back right. And there, in fact, I mean, there are opportunities. Though it is a very bad news, there are definitely opportunities to build back right for everyone, and including everybody, including women, including disabled, including youth, and that's really important. So this is maybe the good news. And I have to say that the Global Methane Pledge was, it's part of it, but it was an extraordinary news yesterday. Now, the second, or my third point, which is the second good news, is that you have an enormous opportunity with your youth. And we've seen it, we've discussed it, and they bring innovations. We see it. I think, as Rolly was saying, I've also gone around and I've seen the capacities of the youth to bring innovation and to bring also hope for the future. They need to have the capabilities, but if they get them, they can be the good news also for Uzbekistan. So this is important, and we definitely will be, looking forward to work on this. The fourth good news is that we see that digitalization is taking roots, and that's really also important, that this can be used as a means also to get everybody on board and to make sure that public services are working, but definitely also the private sector can participate in the inclusive and green growth. And then the fifth, last but least, it was a bit mentioned, but the fifth good opportunity is that this has been a day and a half or 2 days, learning on the good practices, I think, but also looking into maybe some of the, and this is maybe for the future, some of the failures that can also be, in fact, good lessons for the future. But mainly, in fact, we're ready. I mean, we're all here. And as was mentioned, we're all willing, and we all want to support, in fact, Uzbekistan in getting, in fact, and supporting the inclusive, the green and the sustainable development for all, the well-being for the people in Uzbekistan. So I think the coordination, as was mentioned, is also from our side. We are ready, you can count on us, and we're definitely ready to work with the government, but also among ourselves and with people, also getting also the feedback from what is happening on the ground. So with this, thank you for these 2 days.
And now I will give the floor to the Managing Director of the Groves Dialect and Professor of International Business at George Washington University, Mr. Benny Leipziger.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Prime Minister. Thanks for the invitation. I believe I was invited to provide some gender balance to your panel, and I'm happy to do that. I want to give you 5 messages for the people who've been enjoying a day and a half of very good conversation, but wants to leave with some key messages. So at least these are my 5. The first is there's a lot of good news in Uzbekistan on the fight against poverty. Whether you look at the new consumption basket, you look at targeting, if you look at the multidimensional aspects, you're doing a lot of good things. So good news, number 1. Number 2, I think one has to accept the fact that economic opportunity should not be determined at birth, not by your gender, not by your income, and not by where you live. Which means you have to provide people with opportunity. You have to provide them with assets, whether it's education or health or access to credit, whatever it requires, that's the solution. Number 3, there's been a lot of discussion about social protection, good programs, transfer programs, some after the pandemic. But as an economist, I would say these transfers are second best. They are not the long-term solution. The long-term solution involves, as many panelists have said, jobs. And job creation for 8% of GDP in Uzbekistan is still too low. And so I think the job front is Number 4, I would say all poor people are not created equal. And so that gets us to the gender point, which is that providing women with assets, starting with legal protection, land titles, credit, support in the labor market, access to assets is rather important. And I think there's still work to be done on that. And I think that government should be looking a little bit at the link between demographics and poverty. You're in a very comfortable position right now. You know, everyone speaks of the demographic dividend. It's a potential dividend, right? And it just disappears within a generation. And a lot of countries have found that they don't have enough economic strength to maintain support for the elderly. And you want to get to it early. I advised Korea to get to it early. They didn't listen to me. I'm hoping that it will be more acceptable here. And the fifth point is that this is a conference on absolute poverty, but we should also look at issues of relative positions in income. Because it's not a problem today, but as growth continues, and if the benefits of growth are going more to capital or to natural resource extraction and less to labor, eventually it will show up. It'll show up in the data. The trouble is when it shows up in the data, it's too late to fix it very easily. And so income distribution and relative positioning, I think, are quite important and would fit in well with what the government is trying to achieve, which is to see benefits widely distributed. So those are my 5 points, and thank you very much for the invitation.
Ana endi so'zni O'zbekiston Respublikasi Bosh vaziri o'rinbosari, iqtisodiy taraqqiyot va kambag'allikni qisqartirish vaziri Jamshid Qo'chqorovga beramiz. Now the floor belongs to the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Economic Development and Poverty Reduction of the Republic of Uzbekistan, Mr. Jamshid Qo'chqorov.
Assalamu alaikum, xonimlar va janoblar. Dear ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank all of you for attending this forum, visiting Bukhara, and for sharing with your ideas in that forum. What we are learning or learn from this forum? First of all, that we have your support. We're sure. This is number one, what we learn. Second, we can fight, really fight against poverty. I mean, in Uzbekistan, because, just 2-3 years ago, we even didn't use this word. And His Excellency President of the country, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, first time he mentioned poverty. He said about poverty a lot, and also in his program for development strategy for 2022-2026, he raised the target to decrease poverty by 2 times in 2026. So we think we learn from this forum that we can fight and we can get certain results on that direction. Next, we have around 300 guests, 100 foreign speakers. All of that means for me that this issue is also important not for only Uzbekistan, but also for our partners who would like to discuss with us all of these issues, also with our neighbors. During taking this opportunity, I would like to thank all of officials who visited us from neighboring countries, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Russia, maybe other South Asia countries who visited this forum. I would like to thank all of them, and we very much appreciate their attention to that issue. Next, also once again, we learned that we have to care not only about incomes of poor people, but also we have to think about their education and healthcare. That we learned it maybe not first time, but now after this forum, we are more confident that we have to push this idea. This maybe not idea, this task. And also the next what we learned from this forum is that this forum was some kind of mix of theoretical points and practical points, and I think this is very useful. And today's site visit will also show to our partners how we are trying to fight against poverty. As Madam Proskurekova said, now we spoke a lot, enough maybe, now we have to do something. So yes, we speak, but also we do something. Today we will show you. And I think that would also make some point to discuss this issue. Maybe you will say, listen, this is a good idea or not, and we're ready to have your opinion on everything. And about the next point, my colleagues here, they are saying that we have to have this forum on a regular basis. I don't know. We will think about that. Of course, we will discuss this with government of Uzbekistan, with our partners, IFI, UNDP, all of them. And just for your consideration, my colleagues say that we have to have it in this format, only in the regions, not in Tashkent. They say next has to be in Fergana Valley. And they say it has to be not just poverty reduction, but under some fresh idea. I mean, let's say poverty reduction through SME development or something like this, which is very much appropriate, especially for Fergana Valley. So if you have any idea on that, we are open and we will be, we are always happy to have guests. Always, around the clock and 7 days in a week, all months without any exception. Be sure that we will do our best on that. And finally, I would like to thank all of you for attending this forum. And World Bank, UNDP, everybody, EU, and special thanks to Governor of Bukhara region for his great hospitality. I think we can little bit if we can. Also, I would like to inform all guests that we have here all deputy governors from each region of Uzbekistan. They are also here. If you don't mind, we can apply for that. And also here we have people who are working with the Mahalla, unique Uzbek neighborhood, which is really, in Uzbek we say children, not, sorry, I cannot say this in English. I will say this in Uzbek. So, bitta bolani ota-onasimas mahallayan tarbiya qiladi. So we have people here who are working in Mahalla to help them have family business, other business, micro business, etc. They are here, they are doing great job. Share Damla. And if you don't mind, they are my colleagues. You have to thank. So these people also came from all regions of Uzbekistan, and they are, they are doing a great job. They are just on the beginning, but we do hope they will be very helpful. Thank you. And again and again. We're very happy with this forum. We're very happy. And it's very successful. We're all in good mood. We're smiling. Even the topic is serious, but we're smiling. That means we're optimistic. And again, I would like to thank each of you, and even I'm ready to kiss each woman. Thank you. Thank you.
Hurmatli ishtirokchilar, ushbu kun mobaynida O'zbekistonda kambag'allikni qisqartirish xalqaro forumida biz bilan birga bo'lganingiz uchun tashakkur bildirishga ijozat bergansiz. Ishonamizki, ushbu forum sizda yorqin va unutilmas taassurotlar qoldiradi. Dear participants, let us thank you for being with us during these 2 days at this wonderful event, the first Uzbekistan International Poverty Reduction Forum. We hope this forum will leave you with bright and unforgettable impressions. Barchani Gardens restoranida bo'lib o'tadigan tushlikka taklif qilamiz. Lekin bu bilan bizning dasturimiz yakunlanmaydi. Tushlikdan so'ng kambag'allikni qisqartirish bilan bog'liq ijtimoiy ahamiyatga ega obyektlarga tashrif rejalashtirilgan. Mehmonxonaning kirish qismida sizlarni maxsus transferlar kutib oladi. Biz bilan bo'lganingiz uchun tashakkur. We want to invite everyone to lunch now, which will be held at the Garden Restaurant. But this is not the end of our program. After the lunch, a special transfer will be waiting for you at the entrance to the hotel, on which we will go on a tour of objects of social significance related to poverty reduction, at the end of which we will come back. Thank you for being with us. Да, садитесь, пожалуйста. Hurmatli mehmonlar, agar sizda tarjima uskunalari mavjud bo'lsa, iltimos mehmonxona xodimlari yoki tadbir tashkilotchilariga qaytib berishingizni so'raymiz. Dear guests, if you have any translation devices left, we kindly ask you to return them to the hotel staff or the organization team.